pitch softball. Tonight, the Plymouth Panthers host West Bend East. I believe it's the Spartans, if I'm not mistaken, in a non-conference matchup on Monday night here. This is Brad Ballbrook along with Scott Richards on the camera and co-hosting it.
East is the Suns.
First pitch, line drive right at the third baseman Leiter. So one pitch from the Plymouth Panther pitcher Helmer and one out. Batter now is their left fielder Mandering. I should say Mundinger. Boy, they got a few mouthfuls in this group. Ball away. This is a ball slice foul on a play. 1 ball, 1 strike. This program is brought to you by the backers, our Plymouth Community TV 14 sponsor team. We're proud to have the backers supporting the youth and teams in our community. There's a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Helmer. One ball, 2 strikes. Heading the count. Tries to nibble away on the outside corner. Erica Helmer on the mound. Catching for the Panthers is Clemmy. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball. Helmer will glove it and throw it for the second out. 2 down. Erica Helmer on the mound. And Caitlin Clemmy, the catcher. We'll get the rest of that lineup as we go. Windy night here in Plymouth. Change up. A little high maybe. Ball 1. Batter here is their shortstop, Hadler. Takes a strike. Well, with this win, if you have somebody that can get it up in the air and hit it pretty hard to right field, it's got a chance. Arbuckle hit one in the first game of the season. And it got a little help from the wind, but not as much wind as what we have here tonight. Strike 2. Helmer ahead in the count early. Went in the pitch, ball upstairs. Stoney at first, Pieper at second, Leiter at third, and shortstop Sipple. That sets that infield for you. Swing and a miss, ball in the dirt, picked up and thrown on to first for the third out. 3 up, 3 down after 1/2 inning, no score, and the Panthers will be coming to bat. And we're back for the bottom of the first. Panthers coming to bat. Leading off for the Panthers, as usual, Jordan Pieper, the second baseman. Jordan batting over on the left side. She's a natural right-handed hitter, but last couple of years and early on, she moved over to the left side. She likes to bunt and move that ball around to get on base. Shows bunt, takes the pitch for a strike. No balls and a strike to, I believe, the junior second baseman, Jordan Pieper. Ball upstairs as she takes the bat back. She likes to get that running start out of the box on the left side. That's why she went to the left side. She can punch that ball to the left side. If the third baseman comes up aggressively, she'll take a swing and try to punch it by her, or she'll lay down the bunt and just beat it. Grounds the ball back to the pitcher. Pitcher will throw from her bottom as she fields the ball. 1-3 on the putout, 1 away. Better now is Cassie Sipple. Visit the Paddock Club, located in downtown Elkhart Lake. Stop in on Tuesday for their special small plate menu that changes weekly and gives you the opportunity to try multiple dishes for a very reasonable price. Open Tuesday through Sunday, serving dinner in the bar or the dining room and live music. Friday with Paul and Augie. Comfort food made with love for you and your family. That's the Paddock Club in Elkhart Lake. Sipple takes a strike. No balls and a strike to the Panther shortstop. 0-1 pitch. Little change of pace upstairs. 1 ball, 1 strike. Panthers 1-1 on the season. Defeated Whitefish Bay pretty handily. Struggle against Camelsport, going 7 innings, losing 12-3. There's the ball, fisted foul. Get jammed a little bit there. Well, the sun's shining, it's plenty warm, but the wind is howling. One ball, 2 strikes. Kind of have to defend that plate a little bit with the bat. Ball upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes, evening the count out. Tomorrow night, the Panthers will host the Kewaskum Indians right here. And that game starts at 5 o'clock. Ground ball. Fair ball down the left field line. Sipple will turn and look at second, but nice job of getting the ball back in play. Sipple's going to try to take second on the overthrow, and the ball gets thrown away again. So a couple miscues here by the fielding of the West Bend East left fielder and right fielder. Basically on throws allows Cassie Sipple with a base hit to take second on the air. Now you have a runner in scoring position, and you have Staus up at the plate, center fielder for the Panthers. Erica Staus. Last year, Staus really came on with the bat towards the end of the season. And Coach Krebsbach, Dawn Krebsbach, is counting on her to drive in some runs out of that 3 spot. Of course, Dawn Krebsbach, first year of her being the head coach. Gil Grant giving up the reins after 24 years. And Staus takes a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Non-conference starts are usually a little earlier than the conference starts. A 4:30 start today, but conference games are usually 5 o'clock here. Unless a doubleheader, at times they'll move it up depending upon the time of the season and if the other team is in agreement with travel being a concern during a weekday. But most of the time it's a 5 o'clock start on a single game. 2 balls and a strike. To Staus. Fly ball on the infield. In the right field, the center fielder is going to hustle all the way over to make the play. Second baseman really never got back on that thing at all, and right fielder didn't come in, but the center fielder did a nice job of covering some territory and getting over there and making the catch. Batter now is Arbuckle. Arbuckle's the left fielder for the Panthers, Vanessa. Runner in scoring position with 1 out now, with 2 outs. Got to put 1 out here in the outfield and drive some through the infield to give Sipple a chance to score. Ball low. Plymouth Furniture and Bedding Showrooms, located behind McDonald's in Plymouth, has a fine selection of furniture, including sofas, gliders, recliners, end tables, mattresses, bedroom sets, dining room sets, a full line of leather sofas and chairs, plus a whole lot more. They offer a wide variety of styles, so you're sure to find something that suits your taste and needs. Stop in and take a look around at Plymouth Furniture and Bedding Showrooms, and while you're there, be sure to check out the bargains at their clearance center. You'll be delighted with what you see. Wind in the pitch. There's a drive. That's going to be right to the base of the fence. That's going to drive in Sipple easily. Arbuckle on her way to second, and she's going to hold up right there. Solid double. That, boy, I tell you, I don't know. Nobody's going to make a play on that thing. That thing got out here quick. She just drove the ball, and I tell you, she gets it up in the wind, up a little bit higher trajectory. That gets out of here, but that was hit right at the base of the fence on the line. Solid double driving in Sipple. 1-0 Panthers here, bottom of the first. Arbuckle in scoring position, and now Paige Stoney, the first baseman. You can hear Coach Krebsbach making sure Arbuckle's getting a good lead out there. Best chance to score is to get a big lead. There's a fly ball in the infield. Second baseman's going to glove it for the out. A little shaky there, but she took care of business. Well, 1 run on 2 hits and 1 left on after 1 complete. The Panthers lead 1-0. Back to the second. On to the second, I should say. West Bend East catcher Cartwright to lead off this inning. Fly ball out of play. 20/20 Visions has been dedicated to the eye care needs of their patients for over 20 years. They are committed to providing the best care possible for their patients. Is it a time for your checkup? Call 20/20 Visions today at 893-EYES to schedule your appointment. Be wise. Take care of your eyes. 20/20 Visions, office of Dr. Sharon Roberts and Brad Wickland. Swing and a miss. No balls, 2 strikes. As Helmer ahead in the count early here. Throws the ball upstairs. No balls, 2 strikes. Ball swatted foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Arbuckle in left, Stouse in center, and Struve in right. Sets that outfield for you. Line drive, base hit up the middle. Stouse will glove it, and the first hit of the evening for the West Bend East Spartans, Scott?
Suns.
Suns.
East is Suns, west is the Spartans.
Oh, the west is the Spartans, okay. So West Bend East Suns. And you'll have a courtesy runner for the catcher. Cartwright will give up her space on the base pads for a courtesy runner. This is designed to keep the game moving, allow the catcher and pitcher courtesy runners to keep them fresh for, well, they really are a main cog in the game kind of thing. So they allow courtesy runners for both pitcher and catcher. Batter here is Larson, the right fielder. Swings and misses. The ball's in a strike. Number 5 batter in the Sun lineup. Runner underway. Going to be in there in time. A stolen base by the courtesy runner. We do not have their roster, so I don't know who the young lady is at second. One pitch. Ball up and in. Clemmy will knock it down. Hold the runner at second. Well, the Suns have had some tough years in the past years, kind of in a rebuilding mode. As are the Panthers. Would you say, Scott, Panthers are...
Well, you know, they had such a good run over the last 10, 15 years. You're right, Brad. They're young.
They're young, exactly.
I think Dawn is going to be just fine. She knows what she's doing. But let's face it, you and I both know in softball, it's pitcher-catcher.
It is.
And probably if you got 3 or 4 good hitters.
A bunt foul.
Well, like there's 1 out, and you saw them try to bunt the runner to third, where they cannot score on a fly ball.
Right.
And I suppose they're going to look to maybe we can score one on a pass ball or whatever. But, you know, you see a lot more bunting. People that try to equate softball and hardball, they're similar, but they're different.
Yeah.
You know?
It's nice that fast pitch softball is unique to the ladies and hardball is unique to the men. There's a drive in the right field. Pass, Struve. This will score a run at least. As Larson is in with a stand-up triple. And the courtesy runner has scored, tying the score at 1-1 here in the second.
And I'll apologize right now. This is my first go-around on the camera looking right into the bright sun, so we really can't see in the screen. But we do the best we can.
That ball was hit on a rocket down the right field line. It looked like Struve had the angle on it, but then it just got by her.
Well, and I think, too, I look at the shadow behind Struve's, and that's not easy. The sun's coming right into her eyes. She's got the shades down. I got shades on, and it's still, as do most of the fielders right now.
I take that back. The batter was Wagner. As there is one out. Wagner with the triple. Strike on the inside corner. The batter here is Wagner, their third baseman. We have a Wagner and Wagner, two sisters, I believe. Pitcher and third baseman. This is the third baseman. Ground ball through the hole, and another run will score. Batter now is Heinst. This is a designated player. She's actually batting for the for the first baseman, Zagel. Each team is allowed one designated player that can bat for somebody in the field. There's a bunt on the infield and popped up foul. Well, you see a bunt in the air there. You sure like to see somebody get after it. Just a harmless foul ball there. Ball on the inside. Two runs across. Fly ball, right field, and just over the head of Struve. And this will be a double by Heinst. All with one out. And the batter now is Blankenship, their second baseman.
Well, between the sun and the wind, right field's going to be a tough field today.
It is very tough. You know, sunglasses help, but even a visor helps even more, you know. It's just hard to play with the ball coming right out of the sun. Ground ball. Helmer will take the play at first. Interesting, she didn't even look at third, but the kid at third was not going to go anywhere. Now back to the top of the order with two outs and two across. Staffaroni, what a name. Staffaroni, the center fielder for the Suns. Foul ball. Off the backstop sign that says, "Respect all, fear none." Phrase often used by Coach Cron. Plymouth Plumbing and Heating offers a wide variety of services, including faucet repair, drain cleaning, and radon mitigation systems. Check out the beautiful Kohler showroom at Plymouth Plumbing and Heating. It's a great place to gather ideas for that new kitchen, bath, or laundry room. Visit their website at www.plymouth-plumbing.com. Don't forget to like them on Facebook also. Plymouth Plumbing and Heating. Ground ball. Gonna be foul. Panthers down 2-1, top of the second, early on in this game. Brad Baldrick along with Scott Richards on camera. I'm gonna try to bring you most of the home games this year. Ball upstairs.
You know, over the last how many years, Brad, you and Andy did a lot of road games as well. It just has become logistically more difficult.
It
We
really
just don't
has.
have the manpower to.
Ground ball, foul.
You know,
And even next year's going to be even tougher with the long travel.
well, just so you know that the travel budget for next year compared to this year's up like $2,500.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that whole scenario a little bit later. My son was interviewed on 1250 Milwaukee radio on Saturday talking about that stuff.
Strike 3 looking. That will end the second. But the Suns get two runs on 4 hits. Rocked the ball pretty well there. And Panthers are down 2-1 after 1.5. We move on to the Panthers second. Bottom of the second, they're down by 1. 2-1 Sun lead. Lead off this inning for the Panthers is the pitcher, Helmer. Erica Helmer. I believe she's a junior, Scott?
I think so. I'm trying to remember it from last year.
Takes a strike. Stuck in a state of falling behind, struggling to keep up with your kids' finances, insurance? Let State Farm agent Jim Schultz in Plymouth help you simplify and get to a better state. Ground ball off the pitcher and into left field. That's got to leave a mark. Call State Farm agent Jim Schultz today and get to a better state with State Farm. Well, they're going to check out the pitcher. I don't think it hit her glove at all, Scott. That came right off the shin or the ankle.
Well, and that's why you're seeing pitchers now wearing the face protection.
Exactly. Even third basemen have face protectors now and everything else. That ball gets back so quick, especially when a pitcher generates that kind of speed. Solid base hit for Erica Helmer. She'll take a seat and have a pitch courtesy runner for her. I believe it's going to be Carly Adamson. I cannot see the number from here, but she has pitch run and a pass. Batter here is Struve. Elizabeth Struve at the plate. Nobody out, 1 on. Looks to bunt. The ball gets away, serves as almost like a bunt, allowing her to move up with no outs. The pitch runner is actually Hannah Buckle. Buckle, the base runner. So with Bucko at second as the courtesy runner for Helmer, Struve had to count 1 ball, no strikes. Takes a strike at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. One pitch. Fly ball out of play over the backstop. Again, call State Farm agent Jim Schultz today and get to a better state with State Farm. Jim Schultz has been a backer for many years. I appreciate that. Struve is the right fielder for the Panthers. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He defend that plate. Takes the ball on the outside edge. Just off the outside edge, I should say. Evens his count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Like I said, we'll do as many home games as possible. I do not anticipate being on the road, but that can change. Ground ball foul. And you were mentioning that your son was being interviewed.
Yeah, they talked to Tom Zwittle's head of the Coaches Association, and they do a radio station, Mike McGivern, and they talked about the Wisconsin. They talked about the Wisconsin Rapids coach was on the telephone, and I'll come back to that after this pitch.
1-2 pitch. Foul ball out of play.
And he was saying when he talked about the Advocates, the real line up there were Rhinelander, Anago, and Merrill, although Merrill stayed in their conference because they're down around 900, whereas Rapids is about 1,800, and the Wausau schools are pretty good size. He said, but what they ended up doing was, Wisconsin Rapids is 1.5 to 2 hours away from the Valley, and that's who they're playing.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a similar situation in a way to what we see. And then the AD, Linda Vetrano, said, well, you got to take in all things in consideration. And I know basketball loves their conference because it's very competitive. But as an example, Tulsa East has won 6 conference championships since 1997, all in boys basketball. So they're having trouble competing. And in my son's case as a football coach, their numbers are low comparatively to the schools of 1,800. So, you know, I've talked to him about all I get to do is do the best you can, and they do. But in our case, I know our concern is we are not gaining schools that have like sports, and now we're traveling, 70 miles in some cases.
Yeah.
And I know how rotten it was for the Two Rivers, Waupun, Kewaskum, Camelsport trip, and that's
Later with a bunt out foul.
And that's one of the reasons why they made some changes, and rightfully so. And then the whole team's now down to around 345 kids.
Yeah.
But what I know Mike Slagle was hoping is that, well, then send us south, where we got a lot of comparable size schools, and they chose to send us north. The schools are about the same size as the ones we left, but have even fewer teams with sports that we have. Just as
Struve did a nice job of working the count and getting on with a base on balls.
Well, as an example, the only other school with swimming now in our conference is Berlin. So they have to go back to the old conference and probably bring Berlin in.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are other situations like that, summer baseball versus spring.
Ball upstairs.
The sport that really is affected more than any is football. It's a numbers game. And so what they're starting to do is make these super conferences, and then they have certain teams in football and certain teams, but that's kind of a mess too.
Well, later needs to defend that plate, does. Hits one back out of play.
One of the consensuses that sort of came about is they really, and this is not to completely demean the WIA, but maybe just take the whole state, not just portions of it, and sit down at the table and see what you can do. And that may come and it may not.
Oh, we've been able to strike three looking. Hate to see that with runners on. You'd like to see him at least be advanced. Later probably thought that was a little bit up in the strike zone, but boy, again, you have to defend that plate. Anything close, you got to try to put it in play.
More hits are made on balls out of the strike zone than walks come when a ball comes down the middle.
Batter now is Clemmy, the catcher for the Panthers. 1 out, 2 on. Panthers down 2-1 here, bottom of the second. Swing and a miss. No, we were always in the middle of travel going south and north. Now we're on the east, complete east of the whole conference. So we're the long leg, so to speak.
But we also were the long leg back in the early 70s into the late 70s when we were part of the Packerland.
Correct.
When we traveled, and we, Falls, Kiel, Holstein, and I think Chilton traveled to
Southern Door,
Sturgeon Bay, Kewanee, right. So, I mean, we've been there before. You're right, we had it pretty good, no question. But that's not what we were advocating for. That wasn't, well, it was part of the issue.
Ball up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Like you said, if you're looking at girls softball, if you're traveling to Winneconne or Berlin, they're trying to prevent or really limit as much loss of class time. But when you're doing that, it's going to be tough.
Ball.
There's only so much sunlight. I don't know if any of the schools that we go to, Waupun might have some lights.
Yeah, they have lights.
Yeah, but otherwise you're relying on the sun. And
well, the other day when we had the Camelsport game, it was getting dark towards the end, but that was a very, very long game. But Clemmy battling up there, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Looking at driving a run here and tie it up. Swing and a miss, so going on swinging. 2 down now and back to the top of the order. Jordan Pieper. Jordan grounded back to the pitcher in the first. Now, Jordan is the kind of person that puts the ball in a play by the bunt and tries to beat it out or slap one down the third baseline. That's not going to get you to run necessarily.
She's, for the people I remember a couple years ago, she's kind of a Stephanie Hunter type of hitter.
Exactly.
A slap and run, real good, really good quickness.
Ball up. Nice job by the catcher to get up there and make the play. Meyer Motors in Plymouth is your source for quality, newer quality pre-owned cars, trucks, SUVs, and minivans, and now offers emissions testing Meyer Motors have been doing business right here in Plymouth since 1926, and they're proud to be a part of the Plymouth community. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball away. Well, if you value selection, price, and service, then you'll find great value at Meyer Motors in Plymouth. Meyer Motors, always a better deal. 2-0 pitch, ball upstairs. Well, if Pieper reaches, we'll go to Cassie Sipple, who has a solid base hit in the first. Ripped a shot down the third base line. 3-0 pitch here. Pitcher taking a little time, regrouping here with a 3-0 count. Ball low. That's ball forward, so the throw is.
Well, throw was down, but throw was by the third baseman. It's a run.
Exactly. Ball still in play. Tag would be meaningless, but if the ball does get away, everybody can advance. The catcher has to know that count, doesn't she, Scott?
Yeah, usually your catcher's the one that's the most cerebral on the whole crew.
Better now is Sipple.
Although I've seen him, even in Major League Baseball, roll it out to the pitcher's mound when there's only 2 strikes.
Yes. We had a big snafu last year with the Brewers, not knowing how many outs there were.
Yeah.
Prime Time is your one-stop shop for smartphones, home phones, satellite TV service, internet, and Radio Shack products. Primetime cellular and satellite partners include Cellcom, Radio Shack, Dish Network, DirecTV, and Exceed. Primetime's Player Club donates to your high school sports team when you support your local hometown store. Primetime's cellular and satellite, located at 534 Walton Drive in Plymouth. Simple looking to drive in a couple runs here, with 2 down. It'd be nice to see if you get one through here, through the in a hole or something like that. Ground ball, shortstop's gonna pick it up and throw in time to retire the side. So the Panthers threaten with bases loaded, but do not push one across. After 2 complete, the score is 2-1. Suns at leading. And we move on to the third. Panthers down 2-1. Mundinger, the left fielder for the Suns, will lead off. Grounded back to the pitcher in the first. Takes the ball away. Another one of our sponsors is Waldo State Bank. Local, independent, like you, Waldo State Bank. Serving the community since 1913. Located at 119 Depot Street. It's a fly ball into right center. Runner on her way to second, and a double. Leadoff double here in the third. Well, again, Waldo State Bank, located at 119 North Depot Street in Waldo, Wisconsin. You can visit the website at www.waldostatebank.com. Member FDIC. Leadoff double. Fly ball out to Struve, and Struve will make the play. Runner will tag and advance to third. No throw. So 1 away. Batter now is Cartwright. Cartwright is the catcher and scored the first run for the Suns on a base hit. Ball upstairs. Much more tolerable night tonight. In the low 60s, maybe high 50s. A ball fisted to the shortstop Sipple for 2 outs.
Supposed to be pretty nice week all week.
Well, on Wednesday, my wife and I are going out to La Crosse for a couple days. That's always beautiful out there this time of year. It's always warmer. Batter now is Larson. Takes the ball away. 2 down, 1 on. That runner is at third. What you focus on now is you just focus on that batter. Get that batter out and be done with it. Panthers down 2-1 here in the top of the third. Oh, 1-0 pitch rather. Ball slice foul. We'll even the count.
That'd have been last week Tuesday. Those hands would be stinging right now.
Exactly. Yeah, there were a couple kids that had some stingers. Let's see them shake their hands. Nice pitch on the outside edge. Chased for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. All the way, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Line in the pitch. Chased for a 3rd strike and down swinging. No runs on 1 hit. 1 left on after 2.5. Panthers still behind 2-1. And we move on to the bottom of the third. Erica Staus will lead off the Panther third, followed by Arbuckle and Stoney. Fly ball. Oh, that was lost by the right fielder. Staus will be in there with a stand-up double. But that ball could have been a pop-up, and the wind just kept taking it and took it out to the base of the fence.
I think about 15, now Gus just came up. I think about 15 minutes ago that had been out. But the wind has been now gusting more than a constant.
Yep. And that ball had to be right up in the sun.
Yeah.
Batter now is Arbuckle. Vanessa is the left fielder for the Panthers. 1 on, nobody out. Staus in scoring position. Panthers down 2-1 here in the bottom of the third. Ball away. Four Seasons Comfort, located on Highway 42 between Sheboygan and Howard's Grove, handles air conditioning, heating, boilers, plus sales and service. They offer Trane as well as Heil heating and cooling systems. With over 40 years of combined experience, Mike Pelzel and Jeremy Lensberg are ready to take care of all your heating and cooling needs. They believe in quality service with your comfort in mind. So give Mike or Jeremy of Four Seasons Comfort a call today at 565-2095. Do it now. That's Four Seasons Comfort, servicing all of Sheboygan County. Well, 4 straight pitches, 4 balls, and Arbuckle will reach on a base on balls. That one gets by the catcher, and Staus will advance to third. And that's huge, because now you have runners at the corner, and you know in fast pitch softball, you usually have that kid at first stealing, and then if they throw through, the person at third can score because it's really a tough play.
Well, and the other thing, too, this is where you'd see at times a bunt just to get that runner.
Yep.
And then you can do a little game with the runner at third base. Depending on, here's where the coach has to know the capabilities of the gal at the plate and the gal on third base.
Batter is Paige Stoney, first baseman for the Panthers. I'm looking for Arbuckle to be going here. And indeed she is, and they will not throw through. Stoney taken all the way to allow Arbuckle to get it to scoring position.
Now here again, as a defensive coach, you know your catcher's capabilities. Can that catcher consistently throw it through with a strong arm? Otherwise you say,
and then,
well...
And then you have to know if they get the out, do you have somebody on the other side that can relay home?
Right.
Ground ball in the hole through for Paige Stoney. 1 run will score. And that'll be Staus will score. Arbuckle advances to third, will hold the bag there. And Stoney with the RBI single ringing single. Now you'll see Paige Stoney on the move here with Helmer at the plate.
Same situation last time, Brad. They did a, I believe it was a fake bunt, showed bunt anyway.
Catcher just made a call, 33, whatever that means. Could be a type of pickoff play like throwing behind the runner at third, or, and again, that's kind of what they did. And Helmer taking all the way will take a strike, as did Stoney previously.
They were giving up second base anyway, Brad,
Exactly.
because the second baseman went to cover first and the short went to cover third. So that's kind of a no-brainer. And I'm sure Dawn picked up on that when she had him play the game.
Ball up and away. Evans count at 1 ball, 1 strike to Helmer. Arbuckle at third, Stoney at second. Panthers have tied it 2-2 here, bottom of the third. Nobody out. Have a chance to get a few here. Ball low. 2 balls and a strike to Helmer. Looking for that special bridal set for the largest selection and the lowest prices. Shop at Niesman's Diamond Center, where you're always finding a great buy. Niesman's is located at West 5132 North County Road O, just north of Highway 23 on Pleasant View Road, and the corner of Pleasant View Road and County Road O. That's Niesman's Diamond Center. Yeah, it's kind of like a batter's count right here. 3 balls and a strike, I believe. Ball inside, and the bases are now loaded again. This is second time now, 2 innings in a row, that the bases have been loaded. Panthers failed to push somebody across in the last inning with a couple strikeouts in there. Helmer will have a pitch runner for her.
Well, you're right. Here's where you can really make some hay. Obviously, they've come back and tied it up. You know, the top of the lines put the bat on the ball a little bit. Now you got to get those kids in the bottom.
Yep.
But they're second time through. They're more familiar, like you said early. Although they have some players that played last year, they're really a young team.
Yep.
I mean, Stoney played, Arbuckle played some as the year went on.
Right.
Sipple
Really,
played.
the kids that had some
Right.
some exposure would be just 3 of them: Sipple, Staus, and Pieper. Stoney played some. Arbuckle came up late, but no, you're retooling a little bit here.
Yeah.
Batter here is Struve. Struve reached on a base on balls in the second. That'd be okay right here with bases loaded. It's an RBI, but you know, you want your kids being aggressive up there. Against Camelsport, we went down looking probably 4 or 5 times, if I'm not mistaken, and that's not what you want to see up at the plate. Soft line drive, dropped. Everybody's advancing here, and double play. Struve forgot to run that out. I think the shortstop dropped it on purpose, Scott.
Well, I know even though it was a line drive, I don't know why it wasn't an infield fly rule.
Absolutely.
It wasn't exactly a rocket line drive.
Right, right.
You know, I think that's infield fly rule.
Nonetheless, nobody scores on that. They got the force at home,
You know, it's umpire's discretion, but
and then through the first for a double play. Fly ball into the center field, and off the outstretched hands. 2 runs will score here. Big base hit by Leiter. A double. Texas League double falls in there for the base hit, and 2 runs will score as Stoney will come across,
you know, back to
and
that.
Buckle, who is pitch running for Helmer.
You know, back to that other play. That's exactly why they have infield fly rule.
Exactly.
Now, if it would have been a lunging line drive where she had to leave her feet, but that was kind of a humpback liner. You know, it's in between a little bit, so it's a judgment call. But
I have not seen too many young ladies understand that can be done, though, is drop the ball and force.
Yeah.
So I doubt if she maybe did it on purpose, but she was quite aware to take care of it at home and then get the relay because Struve failed to run it out. A ground ball to second base. That'll retire the side. But not until the Panthers get 3 runs. They got 3 runs on 2 hits and leave 1 on after 3 complete. The Panthers now lead 4-2. Now we move on to the 4th. Batter is Wagner, the pitcher. She had a triple down the right field line in the 2nd. Swing and a miss. Panthers were down 2-1 and had a big 3-run 3rd inning. Now lead 4-2. And they also had a double play, which was very odd. That made it look like Panthers were not going to get much out of that. But Leiter comes up with a big double to score 2. Fall back out of play. So Helmer ahead in the count. Stopping at your locally owned Napa Parts Store, located on Clover Lane in Plymouth, for all your automotive, farm, and heavy-duty needs. Fly ball on the infield. Leiter's got it to retire Wagner, 1 away. Napa Parts in Plymouth on 107 Clover Lane. There's additional stores located in Sheboygan and Random Lake. Napa Parts. Strike on the inside corner. Boy, when you can pound that ball in strike and get that inside strike, boy, that's tough for a lot of kids to hit.
Very tough. Low and inside like that.
Did it again. That's a perfect example right there. This is the other Wagner, the 3rd baseman, that got a base hit. RBI, 2 RBI, single. Behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Ball up and away. One out, nobody on. Panthers lead 4-2, top of the 4th. Brad Volbrick along with Scott Richards tonight. Boy, that was inside, got around on it, but pulled it foul.
That
relatively harmless.
was in her wheelhouse, I'll tell you.
Yeah. Well, is your yard the envy of the neighborhood, or could it use a little help? Simplicity has the help you need with their popular Conquest and Prestige yard and garden tractors. There's also a full line of attachments available, from dozer blades to snow throwers that will do the heavy lifting while you relax. So stop by Miller & Belt Incorporated and test drive the new Prestige and Conquest tractors from Simplicity. Simplicity, the way to a beautiful lawn, runs through your Simplicity neighborhood Simplicity dealer. And that Simplicity dealer is Miller & Belt, located on the corner of Highway 67 and County Road, PP in Plymouth. Also check out the complete line of steel chainsaws and trimmers at Miller & Belt Incorporated. Helmer trying to take care of business here. Line drive, base hit. Boy, that was right out at the end of the bat. Looked like she drove the ball pretty well, but on the end of the bat, it just died. So 1 on with 1 out, and the batter is Heist. Heist had a base hit in the 2nd to drive in a run. She is a designated player, and she's batting for the 2nd baseman, Zagel. And Homer got ahead in the count pretty quick, just by doing right like what she did there. Busting that ball on the inside edge. No balls and a strike. 1 out, 1 on. Fly ball, that's going to slice foul out of play. Actually, foul ball and stayed in play. Right field's tough tonight with the sun. Just very difficult. You almost got to stand back there, Scott, and put your glove up on that darn sun, right, so you can catch the ball coming off the bat.
And Struves is left-handed. If you're right-handed, you know, or excuse me, if she was left-handed, put the glove up on her right hand, but that's just not how it goes. So.
Ball away.
Yeah, and it's more of a gusty wind. Like right now, it's not too bad, but then the gust will pick up a little bit. So.
Yeah, comes and goes. A lot of balls hit to the right side from right-handed batters. And ground ball. Thrown on to first. Leiter to Stoney.
Somebody would say,
5
well,
to
why
3.
didn't you go to second? Well, get the out. You know, kids with this age, especially in this, get the out.
Yep.
Got 2 outs now.
Coach Cotton would hang his hat on that kind of thing. Just get an out, get a out. Leiter has to go on to second a couple times, or at least once that I'd remember, to get the lead runner. But sometimes when the ball gets you really early and the kid that's going to receive the throw isn't there yet, holding on the ball just makes it all that much more difficult. If you're in pace to throw it, throw it. And this time she threw it to first.
Wow.
2 down, and the runner now at second.
Well, we're either getting a pinch hitter, I think.
Looks like it. The hitter would have been the second baseman, Blankenship. Mentioned Zago was the second baseman. She's actually the first baseman. So this is Blankenship, I believe, or a pitch hitter for Blankenship. Ground ball, slice foul. At Bank First, you'll discover what community banking is all about. Local people making local decisions to help make banking easy. Their ties to the Plymouth community are strong, and they are fully committed to their community. Visit them today and discover what makes Bank First an easy choice for all your financial needs. Bank First National, 2323 Eastern Avenue in Plymouth. Strike at the knees. I tell you, Elmer's doing a nice job of getting ahead of the hitters.
Well, she's throwing a ball across the plate. You got to get your fielders to feel the ball, and that keeps everybody alert. Looks like she's got a little change of speeds.
Try to get something on the outside edge, go up and away. The 0-2 count, that's when you want to kind of make them go fishing.
They always said high and inside, low and outside, but it's hard. I mean, that's easier said than done. There it is.
Swing and a miss.
Low and outside.
No runs on 1 hit, 1 left on after 3.5. Panthers lead 4-2. Move on to the bottom of the 4th. And the Panthers lead 4-2. Bottom of the 4th. Top of the lineup for the Panthers, I believe. Yep. Jordan Pieper has reached on a base on balls and has grown it back to the pitcher, looking for a first hit of the night. Bunts out in front and will beat it out. Pieper will take second after doing a nosedive. I'm not sure if she tripped over the bag or over the foot of the person covering the bag that went across the bag. I'm not sure.
I think a real good throw would have had her, but I think you're right. If she doesn't trip, she's on third base.
Yes. And she's okay, though. Shook it off and got up and ran. Now at second with nobody out. Now with her kind of speed, and you got Sipple up there. Sipple usually gets the ball out of the infield. She's got a good chance to score even at second. Good speed. Ball low and in. Sipple, the shortstop for the Panthers. Swings a pretty good bat. In the number 2 spot. Ball up. Pieper looking at it, seeing if it's going to get away. I don't mind seeing that big lead make that catcher worry about you. Because once you come to a stop, you got to either go back or commit.
Well, the
Cannot
thing is,
play games.
if they stop and lean back, then on sometimes the ball goes in the outfield, they can't get their momentum to score.
Exactly. Ground ball up the middle. Pieper will round third and score easily on a solid base hit by Cassie Sipple. Sipple 2 for 3 tonight and an RBI. So the Panthers add to their lead 5-2. Better now is Erica Staus. Erica had a double in the 3rd. Hit a ball that got up in the air and just kept carrying and ended up at the base of the fence. Nobody out, 1 on. Sipple with decent speed. Don't often see a Panther steal just outright, but Pieper will do it. Simple and aggressive base runner. If that ball gets in the dirt at all or gets away from the catcher, you'll see her move. She's very aggressive. No balls and a strike to Staus, the center fielder for the Panthers. Ground ball. Shovel pass to this shortstop. Shortstop not able to get it as the shovel pass went slightly wide.
Well, you know, the air is gonna be on the throw.
Absolutely.
But in that situation, what you want your shortstop to kind of round it and coming at first base. It looked like she was going more at an angle, and you can do that too. You can step across, but there'd be on the throw. But it's a big break for the Panthers, that's for sure.
Staus will reach on the air now. Runners at first and second. Runner in scoring position, and the batter is Arbuckle, who reached on a base on balls and had a solid double in the first. So she's 1 for 1 unofficially. Takes a strike. Vanessa got one out of the ballpark in the very first game of the year. Cleared defense by about 10 inches. Little changeup. Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. A Supply and Equipment Rental located at 24th Thayer Street in Plymouth has everything you need to tackle those spring lawn care projects. They offer aerators, sod cutters, thatchers, bed scrapers, edgers, trenchers, lawn spreaders, and much, much more. Swing and a miss. It looks like Ace Supply and Equipment Rental is all ready for that spring yard work. Are you? Better check it out at Ace Supply and Equipment Rental. Open Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Phone number there is 893-8676 and reserve your rental item today at Ace Supply and Equipment Rental. Base hit. Backhanded by the shortstop, knocks it down, and not in time. But I tell you, if she hustled back to her feet, she had plenty of time to get it to the shortstop at second, but nonetheless, it didn't happen.
I thought, like you, that was going through. That was a great stop, great knockdown.
Well, you give that a hit, Scott, because she had to go down to the ground and go after it?
She had to extend significantly.
Okay. So bases loaded now with nobody out.
Saw where Tim O'Driscoll did his 2,000th game this week.
Wow.
Official score for the Brewers. Started in '87. You know, like we coached against each other a little bit, and he's also the scorer for Major League Baseball. Any questions? And he would say on that, he would say, listen, what could a good Major League player make that play? Well, this is a high school kid, and it's a really tough play. Fully extended, knocked it down. Just couldn't get up, make the throw, so that's why I'd say it'd be a hit. Plus, we're home scorers. Give our kid a hit.
Batter now is Paige Stoney, had a base hit, RBI single in the third. Paige is the first baseman for the Panthers. Bases loaded, nobody out. Panthers can cash in right here. On a base hit in the right field. 2 runs should score here. The right fielder had a tough time picking up the ball, and I believe Arbuckle really did not see that in front of her. Well, when you run to second base, you're kind of your own person. You got to kind of start looking at the third base coach, but at the same time, you got to look what's happening in the field, and you expect the kid to pick it up.
Well, when you're running to second with the ball behind you, you look at your coach, and Dawn was down the line. I thought she was waving the runner in, and then but the runner was looking at the play in the field, wasn't looking at the coach. And so, but they still, you know, with nobody out.
With nobody out, you don't take any chances whatsoever. I'll tell you, you know, Staus really did not get a good jump off a second base, and it's a moot point at this point. Staus will score, Arbuckle the third, Stoney the second. So Panthers 3 runs on the inning. Now lead 7-2. Nobody out. You can really make some hay yet. And because that coach had a meeting on the mound the last time, he comes out to the mound this time, he would have to make a pitching change, so he's asking the catcher to take some time to settle the troops here a little bit.
And you know, again, it's at the discretion of the umps to say, okay, speed it up.
Now we have a moment. Papa Murphy's Pizza is made fresh right before your eyes, before you take it home and bake it in your oven, so it's always piping hot when you want it. Papa Murphy's, love at 425 degrees. 3 locations in Sheboygan County, Plymouth, of course, plus Sheboygan North and South. Papa Murphy's Pizza. And the batter here is Helmer. Helmer has reached twice and scored once, helping her cause quite a bit. But you can help her cause big time here with 2 runners in scoring position and nobody out. Seven to 2. Panthers were down 2-1 and have answered with 3 in the third and now 3 in the fourth, and they're still not done. Ball low, a base on balls. So that will load the bases for Struve.
From what I can see, West Benista has got somebody loosening up.
And a courtesy runner again. It's going to be Bucko. Bucko will run for Helmer, the pitcher. A courtesy runner for pitcher and catcher is allowed.
Oh, the bases are full.
And Struve at the plate. Struve hit into that controversial double play, soft line drive to the shortstop, where she dropped it through home to get the force, and then they relayed to first. Struve had stopped, thinking that she was out. You have to always keep your head on a swivel and at the whole time, or just run it out. And all else fails, just keep running, right, Scott?
Right.
See if Elizabeth can get something going here. With nobody out, bases loaded. Ground ball, third baseman throws in time. No, it was bobbled and she'll be safe. And Arbuckle will score. I'm not sure what Paige Stoney was doing, not going to third. She had the force. And
well, there
she
was a force
delayed
at the
a little
plate.
bit.
I don't know what the third baseman was doing, not going home.
Exactly.
You know, that I heard one of my players one time said all mistakes tend to be mental. And, you know, if she goes home, you keep the run from scoring, keep the force in play. All the force is still in play now.
Batter now is Leiter, who had a key double in the third to drive in 2 runs to give the Panthers a lead, and now she's been hit by a pitch.
Took one for the team.
Took one for the team and gets an RBI out of it. As all runners will advance, and Stoney will cross the plate for the 5th run of the inning. 9-2, Panthers lead by 7. Still not done. And you'll see a pitching change, and while they go ahead and do the pitching change, we're going to cut out and come back when they're ready to play. Are we in? And the batter is Clemmy as we return to play. Do not have a roster from West Bend East, so I do not know the new pitcher. Panthers have 5 across in this inning and have bases loaded with nobody out. Batter is Clemmy, the Panther catcher. You can see the Panthers add about 3 or 4 more. Get that 10-run lead. And go from there. Takes the ball upstairs.
Well, I think in the case of East, first of all, you don't want the girl to struggle too much, and then they just got to throw the ball over the plate.
Yep. I'm sure that's what she wants to do, throw strikes and just, you know, although if they don't feel the ball any better than they have made poor choices of where to go with the ball.
Well, and they haven't, you know, the first baseman has not bailed anybody out either.
Ball upstairs.
I heard that music. You'd tell me if the Angels were coming to get me, wouldn't you?
My phone went off, yeah. Probably somebody asked me if I'm going out for wings tonight. That's probably what that was. One of the Ballbrook clan. Ball upstairs, 3 balls and a strike. And my roster has now blown onto the field, not onto this field, but onto the other field. So we're going to wing it from here on.
Yeah, we pretty much do that anyway.
Exactly. 3 balls and a strike, nowhere to put her. Ball up and away. RBI base on balls. And Helmer's pitch runner Bucko will score. Struve to third, Leiter to second, and Clemmie now at first. And we go back to the top of the order. And that will be Jordan Pieper, who started it all off with a base hit in the 4th. No, at the beginning of the 4th, which we're still in. Have to put a bunt out in front, and it's just awfully difficult for anybody to chase down.
Well, here's the case, and I don't know what their plan is. Here's one if she can bring it down to first baseline. But I think I'm guessing they're going to have her swing away.
Ball in the dirt. Doesn't get away far enough for anybody to advance.
Well, the way they're playing her in the outfield, you know, she's kind of a slap hitter. She gets over the third baseman's head. But the shortstops, well, they probably know a little bit too, because she's way over towards third.
2 balls and no strikes.
Or she can take a walk.
Well, no room to put her. 3 balls and 3 balls and no strikes, I think. There's a strike down the pipe.
It's a good take, though.
You got to take it.
Yep.
There's a mercy rule, a 10-run rule, and the Panthers are closing in on that. So basically, you still want to take care of business here as soon as possible.
It's after 4, right?
After 5.
4.5.
4.5 in essence, yes.
Get out of here.
A ball slicing foul and out of play. Actually still in play, but foul. Plymouth Glass is a family-run business and are honored to be able to serve the Plymouth community, and they have lived here their entire life, so it's very important for them to treat their customers well. Stop in at Plymouth Glass, where they are ready to handle all of your glass needs. And when I say all of their glass needs, I mean all their glass needs. Base on balls and another run across. The batter now is Sipple. Sipple had a base hit in the 4th. (11-2). There's a base hit right up the middle. That'll score 1. And possibly a 2. And under the tag. The catcher was there, just couldn't come up with the ball.
That was a nice throw.
It was a nice throw, right on the money. 2 RBI single by Sipple. Runners will advance on the throw as Leiter scores easily, and Clemmie sliding for the 9th run in this inning. Nobody out yet. And 2 on in scoring position. The batter now is Staus.
Yeah, center fielder played it just the way he wanted. Scoop, set, through, right on the button, or real close.
Ball low and away.
You had probably your 2 best base runners on base.
Yep. 12-2, 10-run rule is in effect. If the Panthers don't add, the West Bend East Suns will have to score in order to elongate this game a little longer.
Shot.
Ground ball. Second baseman will pick up in time to get the runner. So Stultz will ground to second. The pitcher, Wagner, actually moved to second base, made the play. Pieper will score. Sipple on the third. 1 out. Batter now is Arbuckle. 2 things you should know about Wagner's Auto Body in downtown Plymouth are their highly trained technicians are ASE certified, and the paint they use is PPG certified for a lifetime warranty. Now that's good news for you. Expert care and quality products are a tradition at Wagner's Auto Body. And I think you're going to see a pitch hitter here as Coach Krebsbach is at home plate.
Yep, she came up and Arbuckle put the bat, gave it to another gal who's going to pinch hit.
And again, I did have the roster, but it has blown away. I'm something else. And I cannot necessarily need a number right away, but I think it's number 29, I believe. We'll try to get that number for you and get that person for you as we move along here tonight. Runner at third with one out. Panthers lead 14-2 unofficially. Is that what they have on the scoreboard, Scott? 14-2?
Yep.
Up by 12.
You're on your game, Brad.
I still got it, kind of. Takes a strike. The Van Horn Auto Group in Plymouth takes a straightforward approach to helping their customers, of course, solve credit problems with assisting in rebuilding their credit with an auto loan. Van Horn Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Joe Van Horn Chevrolet, and Sheboygan County Budget Auto are dedicated to making your car buying experience an enjoyable experience and make it as enjoyable as possible. To apply for a credit loan, please look online and visit vhcars.com. Swing and a miss. Batter is behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes, I believe. Wind has picked up here a little bit. Ball away. The Osthoff Resort, a 4-diamond AAA property in Elkhart Lake, is currently hiring for full and part-time positions. Students and adults are encouraged to apply. The Osthoff Resort focuses on delivering the best Midwest resort experience to their guests, and their success is built on their team members. Join the Osthoff team today. Strike 3 looking. 2 away. Advance Eye Care, another one of our sponsors, Dr. Tim and Cheryl Ziegler. Know that performing your best on the field, diamond, or gym requires total fitness, including your eyes. Most insurance plans are accepted, and Medicare is also accepted. Advance Eye Care, leading the way in total vision wellness to help you become your best. That's Advance Eye Care, the office of Drs. Tim and Cheryl Ziegler. And we have another pitch batter here. I believe this is Buckle. I'm pretty sure that's the case here. 2 outs, 1 on, and runner in scoring position, Sipple at third base. Jim's Appliance Sales and Service for all your appliance needs. He has same-day service, is available to the Plymouth area. Through Jim's Appliance Sales can be purchased, through Jim's Appliance Sales, you can purchase new appliances from all major brands. His over is low, so your price is low as well. Call Jim at 892-2333. Visit his website and online showroom at www.jims-appliance.com. Well, Bucko at the plate, looking to drive in 1 more run. Panthers up 14-2 here in the top of the 4th. I should say bottom of the 4th. She takes a strike. We will be moving to the 5th shortly. Bucko needs to defend that plate a little bit right now, I think. Swing and a miss, and she'll go swinging for the 3rd out, but not till the Panthers get 10 runs. 10 runs in that inning gives the Panthers a 14-2 lead. And we move on to the 5th. Panthers lead 14-2. If they shut the Suns down here, don't allow any more than 2 runs, it will be over with 10-run rule after 5 innings. or at least
And
the fifth
I
fifth
think
inning at bat.
Coach Kresbach got a couple of their kids up to bat just because, hey, it's a non-conference
You
game. You want
bet.
to get them in.
Good job of doing that. Well, another one of our sponsors is Ground Ball to the Left Side. Not one of our sponsors, but Bill Kane team of realtors, auctioneers, appraisers. They're proud to be a backer of the Plymouth Community TV. Their team can assist you in any of your moving needs and questions. Let Bill Kane Remax Realty Plus put over 30 years of experience to work for you. Real estate auction services, personal property appraisals, fly ball, and off the glove of the left fielder. And she'll be in with a two-base error in essence. The batter there was their leadoff batter. Hit that ball pretty well.
Well, I was told, kids, an errant outfield is always two bases. Always two.
No doubt about that. Batter here is Mundinger. She had a double in the third. Another strike. Nice job by Helmer getting up early in the count. You know, with the big run lead, you just got to throw strikes, and that's exactly what she's doing.
Well, and you're,
count,
you know, she's done a nice job of making them put the ball in play.
Absolutely.
She's got to get a little, help, and it's not been bad, but you'd like to start that hopefully, and then
Another
come right
strike.
back and get a strikeout.
Going down looking. Batter now is Hadler, their shortstop. Struck out and flew out to right field. There's a strike down the middle. And the last of our sponsors is Huberty's CPAs and Trusted Business Advisors. Never miss an opportunity. With today's constantly changing tax laws, cookie cutter strategies are rarely the answer. Ball.
Got your taxes done, Brad?
I do have my taxes done.
There you go.
At Huberty, their tax experts allow them to fit your individual and business circumstances in order to create a custom solution so they can anticipate your needs and plan accordingly. That way you will never miss an opportunity. That's Huberty CPAs and Trusted Business Advisors. And all those sponsors and backers allow us to bring you these broadcasts. Plymouth Community Television invites you to become a member of Backers, and we'll spread the good word about your fine business or organization. As a member of the Backers, your business or organization will be supporting the continuation of quality community programming on TV 14. For more information, call the studio at 893-0006. 2 outs now. So busy getting the totals here, I missed that last strikeout, Scott. How about that, huh? 2 down, 1 on, in scoring position. The batter here now is Cartwright. Cartwright is their catcher. Minding the pitch. Slice foul. So again, Helmer will get this win tonight. Pretty confident that's going to happen. So far, has only given up 2 runs on 7 hits.
Well, she's pounded the strike zone. You know, she makes them put the ball in play.
I have her for no walks tonight, which is so